So let me tell you of a time when I was depressed and I didn't know that I was depressed. Who told me I was? I said depressed, not pressed down, shaken together. Depressed, right? Who told me I was depressed, you asked? The Lord. God told me I was depressed and I refused to believe it. Because why should I look like somebody who is beside me? I refuse to believe it because Christians don't get depressed. And this is my mind telling me that I am depressed and I need to rebuke this thought that I am depressed. Because Christians don't get depressed. Christians cannot get depressed. They don't get stressed out. No, we rebuke that thing. But it turns out because I believe such, God himself had to tell me otherwise. No, please remember, this is my journey. I'm sharing my story. I'm telling you what happened to me. If it has never happened to you, praise God. If you were able to rebuke it and you're okay, praise God. However, I'm sharing with you what happened to me. Okay? Okay. Welcome to my corner, or welcome back to my corner, or welcome back to my corner, or welcome to my corner. I'm Michaela, the girl on the journey to purpose. And here in my corner, we discuss all things discovering, growing, and becoming. We're breaking bad habits, we're making better decisions, healthy choices. We are learning and we are unlearning, and we are developing our relationship with God. Okay? Right. Welcome, and of course, I am really glad that you're here. You've been marking your chairs and coming back, and I appreciate it. And when I say you have been going off in the comments, I'm not talking about 1,000 people commented. I'm talking about even one comment, because at least one comment makes me feel like, okay, I'm not out here alone. Not that I'm supposed to be like looking for company, because that's not my purpose here, but I appreciate the company. I want the company, so thank you. Okay. So as I said before, I was depressed, didn't know I was depressed. I was living life like it's golden. I was fine. So now we're in 2021 and we're coming out of 2020 where COVID hit us, and it was the year of panic. It was the year of new things, the year of panic, and I was running a business. I left my job. I was running my business because that's purpose for me, and I'm doing all things that I should be doing. So I thought, if you need more clarity on this story or to have a back end understanding, you can watch my previous video of how God told me to leave my job. But I was going on. It's going on fine. So now 2021, this is now when I'm proving that, see, I was doing the right thing, because I survived 2020, my business survived 2020, and we're just doing the thing. And this has to be, this is purpose. This was the reason God told me to leave my job, so that I can run the business. And you know, right? Wrong. Okay, wrong. But here comes 2021, and it's now the end of January, thereabout, and I'm feeling a little weird. So I'm like, okay, yeah, clearly I did too much in last year, and I need to take a break. I need to take a break because, yeah, first I designed a poster to say I was going on break, I need 2 weeks, rest up, come back, everything good, right? So I realized that I'm a little tired feeling wasn't really like a little tired feeling, but I didn't really know what it was. So I did the flyer, and I think I placed on it like until further notice or something to that effect, something like that. Yeah, posted it, went on break, watching Netflix, eating chocolate, eating snacks back to back to back, just watching stuff, reruns of The Blacklist. I was just relaxing, sleeping late, waking late, doing what I thought were just normal stuff. You're tired and you have nothing to do, so just kill time, just run time, why not? But there was this feeling that I just couldn't shake, and I didn't really know what it was. And at this point, I had not yet discovered this bring everything to the Lord and so I was confused, but I think I knew enough to know that I wasn't okay. Because then here comes this extra sad feeling and this overthinking, and my mind was set on a particular thing, a particular, I guess, traumatic event. And I was like, where's this coming from? Out of the blues. Where's this coming from? I remember clearly. God said, you need to get some help. So I'm like, get help? Get help for what? What do you mean? And he said therapy, counseling. And I'm like, for what? I'm a Christian. I'm supposed to just pray and I'll be okay. Isn't that how it works? Pray, give it to God, and you'll be okay. So I brushed it off, but the brushing off didn't work. So of course now I'm like, get therapy. So I said, okay. Now I always said that if I were to talk to a counselor, therapist, or coach, whatever they're called, I would want one that's faith-based, but not someone I know, not somebody who knows me, and not somebody in any particular close proximity to me in terms of who know this person, that person, like church-wise. No. So I asked little sister of mine, not blood sister, but little sister. I asked her if she knew. I don't know why I chose to ask her, but I asked her. I think I was saying something to her, and I asked, and she said there's this person who she came across, and her story reminded her of me, or something like that, and she's pretty cool, and I should check her out. So I asked for her name, and one thing with me, I don't really know. So I went on Instagram, searched for her. I stalked her page. I was stalking her page, but not like a stalker stalk, but I was just viewing her stuff to try to familiarize myself with her, right? This light is blinding me. I found her page. I was following her for a while before I reached out to her. Finally reached out to her, and she told me like the rates for consultation and whatever, and I think I booked a consultation with her. Had that consultation, and I was still saying I don't see the sense in this, because what is she going to ask me that I don't know? What am I going to tell her? What is she going to do about it? Had that consultation, and it went well, as in it wasn't as scary as I thought it would be. Of course, there's a little anxiety because you're talking to someone who is going to dive into your business, and if you have business that you have never shared, or you are antsy about it, you're not always happy to. Well, My dog bit me on my leg when I was 3, and it bit me so hard that So I had the consultation. Fine. After the consultation, I decided, you know what, this was good. This feels like it's a good thing. It can help. So let me just try. So I asked if I were to do therapy with you, how long would it take and what would the cost? Got the cost, and I said absolutely not. Not in the sense that you're too dear and I'll pay so much money. No, because your health is important. But at the time, Michaela, no matter how much purpose she was on, could not cross it. Okay. So I said thank you, I moved on. I went back to the Lord. I said, Lord, see, it's a certificate counseling. I tried it. Mind you, I kind of realized, okay, this is what I noticed about God is that all the people that I need, all the destiny helpers that I need for whatever season I'm in, them just appear. And when I say them just appear, is I found people where they're like, the Lord has been telling me all along to do this, and I was sitting on it, but I can't wait anymore, and that's somebody I need. I've seen it. I am living in it right now. Destiny helpers who I think God specifically placed in my space in that particular time that He knew I would need. So I said, Lord, you see how you're sending me go seek counseling, and we seek counseling, and here we are. Can't afford it. Can't afford it. So we're not gonna do it. I didn't say Lord provide it. I didn't say, you know, what's next. I just said I can't afford it and I'm not doing it. In the very same week, this lady had a masterclass, and of course it was a lower price, something that I could afford, and I was like, okay, God, cool. Signed up, and let me tell you, I probably should have apologized to God, because I was saying I don't see the sense in therapy, and I don't understand. When I tell you I got language, when I tell you I understood so much more about a lot of things that I did, was doing, a lot of my habits, a lot of things about me, I was intrigued, because I don't know if you remember, I said that when I was younger I wanted to be a psychologist. Maybe because I just felt like I needed to help people. I don't know if I didn't really want to be one. But I got language. And she also gave some tips that I used that were so helpful. And weird enough, after I had that with her, when I'd go to pray or write in my journal, and my journal at the time was either a book or in my notes in my phone, I would now have language. I would know when I'm writing how to express myself. Because in general, I've always had issue expressing myself. If something is wrong and you ask me what's wrong, I'm going to tell you nothing. How are you? I'm fine. Expressing myself and my emotions, never my strong point. And I took pride in that. I'm fine. Nothing is wrong. I'm good. So, now I have language. Now I look like a buffo, of course, because how am I going to tell God what I need and what is best for me? Of course, I'm going to look like a buffo. Cool? Cool. So, now I have language. So, I'm now back into this space where now I am weirdly just understanding myself. Accepting certain things, realizing that my feelings were not to be rebuked, but to be, I'm gonna use investigated. I think they were to be investigated. Why do you feel this way? Why does this particular thing cause you to feel this way? Why do you get upset about this? Why does a simple thing like this cause you to feel so? Why? How? And I would question it. And the curiosity was just building, and I was moving along with it, and it was causing me now to have this conversation with God, like, why this, why that? Of course, course, I discovered feelings that I probably never wanted to discover, because then came, like, the more understanding you get, well, the more understanding I got, I started to also have some blaming in there, blaming myself for things. Thinking, right, so you deserve this and you deserve that. You did that to yourself, right? And it sparked this new trying to discover me, learning about me, learning some things about me, and unlearning some things that I thought I accepted them to be me, and I was wrong. I was wrong. And it just got more and more interesting as I went along. But I noticed during this time though, a lot of things about myself that I didn't notice. Like, I was just eating myself away, like food, just eating, and thought, I just like snacks. I'm hungry. No, you're not. I would, you wake up and you're like, Lord, thank you for this day, and I'm so grateful to be alive. I started realizing that I used to say it, but I don't know if I meant it. I don't know. I used to say it, but I didn't mean it. It was another day. Yay. Woohoo. It was never can't wait for tomorrow to see what the day brings. When the day comes, it comes. If it doesn't come, it doesn't come. If I went to the doctor, I wanted bad news, or the bad news was intriguing to me. Like, okay, so when do I get worse news? When does the news get worse? Tell me more. I never cared for myself. I had a health card, and it would just go back with the optical, the dental, and I wouldn't say I didn't go to the doctor, because there's a time when I lived there, but like in general, people just go on the checkups, and we think that it's okay because I don't feel sick, but you should go and get your checkups, not because you don't feel sick. But like I said, this is my journey. This for me was my realization. This was my discovery, that my avoiding the doctor, avoiding this, avoiding that was just because I really was not enthused about life. I never cared much for life. I was depressed and I didn't know. So things that seemed normal were actually me, like, self-destructing. So it's not that I wanted to be unalive, but I never really got any excitement in being alive. But I didn't know, so I was living thinking I was doing quite fine, when in reality I was living to be unalive. I noticed that certain things triggered me, certain words, certain people, simple things. When I say simple things, it's simple to others, but for me it was not simple, but it's really simple things. In general, it's simple things, simple words. Watching a movie, certain scenes, just triggered me. Certain places, certain smell triggered me. And I was like, but why before now I wasn't having an issue with all this? Why now that I'm settled? Why is everything just... And when I tell you, that period that was supposed to be helping me, which it did, felt to me like it was unaliving me, like it was wiping me out. And I was like, but God, this not feel like something good. Why would you ask me to start this thing that this thing that feels like... Okay. Nevertheless, I pressed on. Okay, feeling the feelings, everything. Again, remember, this is my story, mine. Okay. Further down the rabbit hole, I started to think of... Remember, now I have language. I'm understanding that certain thoughts, certain feelings, certain memories, certain emotions were not just emotions for emotion's sake or feelings for feeling's sake. They were stemming from something else. So I'm now going further down the rabbit hole and I'm thinking of, so I'm like, in college, well, in university, which I didn't finish, in university, there was this time when I had this feeling. But that feeling wasn't new. That wasn't the first time I was feeling that feeling. Oh, but also in college, there was this time when I had this feeling. The same feeling. So I said, Then I said, but in high school, I used to have to be taken to the hospital because of the same feeling. But in high school, they said it was asthma, and I remember clearly, this came back to me tonight. I remember when I was at the hospital and I was getting the, because it's not one time, and I was getting the nebulizer, and particularly nurse was saying, but you're not congested, you don't have any other asthma symptoms, so I don't think it's asthma. Anyway, I had to get a pump and I'd get the nebulizer and whatever. And I said, but So I went to my family doctor and I am explaining to him what's happening, and he's doing the but the was like it sounded familiar to him. Now mind you, I am high teens now. I'm in high school, about to graduate the second time, so I'm young. And he's looking as though he's remembering what I'm explaining. So the more I talked, the more he said, so now he's going through, this man have record from the first visit. This man has a record. This is from the days of some little, what you call them again? The little index cards written on way back. And he said, you mean like this? And when I looked at the chart, the card, he had written down shortness of breath and something else, donkey years back. Okay, and I'm going through this moment in my head in 2021 and I'm saying, so this isn't new. This isn't new. No, I will say, yes, there are times you have to rebuke. But rebuking doesn't mean that you have dealt with the issue. Again, this is my experience and I'm sharing from my experience. I could be wrong if you're looking at it in general, but I'm saying, here's why I said that. This happened in high school. And if I must say, looking back at high school, I was depressed in high school. I almost didn't graduate. I barely make it through. Why? I was depressed then, but I didn't know. Because a Christian can't be depressed. You rebuke that. Yeah? So, back to the story of rebuking. High school, almost no graduate. Because why? Depressed. College, depressed. Almost left. Because I had, call it mental breakdown. I was on medication. Yes, she was on medication. Because without the medication, me don't have no peace. I can't function. You hear me? Okay. University, I didn't finish. I couldn't finish. Because on top of the depression, which I didn't know was depression, and the anxiety I was having, I started getting sick. I was living at the doctor. That's another story. Because living at the doctor, spending all my money at the doctor, on the doctor. But hey, so if I had the knowledge of like what I have now, there would have been a space in there for review. Just like how every time I'm supposed to do a video, here comes either anxiety about member say, or allergy acting up, or you're tired, wait till tomorrow. Just some thought or some insecurity or something that's gonna tell me no, don't. I have to go back to my word now from Ephesians 6 and tell go one brief boy if you leave me alone. Okay, so it has its place. Doesn't take away from the issue which should be dealt with. I don't know if I'm making sense, but that's kind of like what I'm saying. There's a place for it, but you also need to work through the issue. Alright, so back to my story. So remember now, that is high school, that is Little Pitney, high school, college, university, same thing. Now I am a big, tough, turbid, same thing. But now God is like, I have a work for you to do. I have a mission to send you on. And this thing that has always been pushing you back, slowing you down, or causing you to not finish, we have to deal with it. We have to deal with it. So here we go. Here we go. So now everything is like coming to me and making sense. Because, okay, God, I get you. I don't have the relationship with you yet. I don't know what to do with all these feelings. I don't even know I have all these feelings weighing me down. Go and talk to someone, Michaela. Get your language and come back to me. Because you're coming to me now with a lot of lies. Thank you for this day. Oh, Lord. I'm so grateful. Lies. All lies. Never even did I pray. Just get up and do devotional because you're supposed to do devotional because you're a Christian. Pray what? So I am going down the rabbit hole and I'm getting all these revelation, discoveries, whatever the word. And I'm now like, okay. And I am willing to bet that all the years I spent back and forth at the doctor with illnesses with no real, well, at some point no real diagnosis. I was just back and forth for a while, nothing. Depression, anxiety, more than likely. I'm saying that no because no, I'm not sick. I'm not feeling any of those. I stopped going to the doctor. Not saying you should if you're not. Well, I'm saying I did because I felt like I was not getting anywhere. And I think the Lord realized my frustration. And he already knew what was happening. So he had already ordained this moment to take me, put me aside. I guess I was supposed to leave and go right into it for him to fix me. Because I left work sick. I left work unwell. So I was supposed to just go and settle with him to get clarity on what was happening. But remember, we did it unruly, so having gotten language, having gone down the rabbit hole, now I'm like curious, and I'm now seeing a lot of things happening where, oh, so you're normal, you just have issues you need to work through. So all the time when you think, oh, okay, not perfect, you know. Still I learn. But I now felt like I could say, here's this thing, Lord, if you're there, if you're hearing, and if you care about these things, here's the thing. I guess this is why you told me to do this. So what do I do with it now? As much as it wasn't perfect, pretty sure that if I could see his face, he was probably smiling like, there you go, my child. Welcome. Let's talk. Let's work things out. Let's get you patched up. Then get you fixed up. You're on your road now to healing. You're on your road now to healing. I don't know when that shift happened, as in it's not like the feelings disappear, or it's not like they went away magically overnight, because remember, I'm working through them. But the heaviness that I was having, it was just going away with each day. And I'm now realizing that a lot of things that I was doing wasn't really because that's just how I am. It was reaction to whatever was happening up here, in here. So now I'm improving with how I eat, how I talk. Sitting in bed all day just doing nothing, no. Even if I felt like it, I was like, come out of bed, because it's not doing nothing for you. Yeah? So I'm now feeling better. Yay! I'm talking to God, and I'm back thinking about work, because I was also getting these dreams about the business and changes that I could do, and I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna make changes here, there, and I'm now back in the business sack. Michaela just said, well, God, there's no more bleeding, so let me just get right on into, because this is the bills that pile up. I need to get to work, because having something that can make you a little money to pay your bills, I'm not doing it, is worthless. So I'm not gonna stay here anymore and just go through this. I'm okay now. I'm good. What did Michaela do? Time to get back to work. So I got to work on business, changing business name and doing all these things and preparing. Now I need some time to, yay, stepped out of the healing zone because I stopped bleeding. Never mind that I may have some internal bleeding. I'm not seeing any blood now, so I'm good. Right? Wrong. Well, here endeth this part. I thank you so much for coming along as usual. I appreciate it. I appreciate you. Once again, I struggled to do this. Thanks for coming along. Please keep coming along. Just mark your chair. Come. Pull up a chair next week. I don't want to give you no long video. I'm gonna get weird and nobody watch no more. No more you come back. I want you sit down. I want you enjoy the video. Enjoy it as in get substance from it. And if you're watching and you have not yet subscribed, while we're sharing and we're doing purpose, we still want a little subscription. So subscribe and become a part of the family. Subscribe. If this video blessed you, feel free to like it. share it, because I don't know, maybe something here can help somebody. Cool.